All right,
Philfo
today we're going to
creativity for
dive
your
into one of the
ideas with
most,
Google
well,
Workspace 7.
one of the most ambitious ideas I think we've ever come across. It's a single patent application that tries to do it all. Unify physics, planetary systems, even our own DNA. And the ultimate goal? Scientific world peace. So, to even begin to understand where we're headed, we have to start right here, with this absolutely mind-bending fact. This constant, invisible river of particles flowing through you, right now, is actually central to the whole theory we're about to unpack. It really sets the stage for a journey that connects the cosmic and the biological. So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the patent itself, then we'll break down the core equation that drives everything. From there, we'll see how it's applied to the planet, and then to us, before asking, what's the end game? It's a lot, I know, but we'll take it one step at a time. Now, you might be thinking, what separates this from just some wild theory on the internet? Well, and this is key, it's all formally documented inside the International Patent System. That's a huge deal because it takes these gigantic ideas and puts them into the same structured global framework that's used for every other major invention out there. And here it is, the document itself, filed under the Patent Cooperation Treaty. I mean, just look at that title, the modern scientific model of everything. That alone gives you a sense of the incredible scope we're dealing with. This application is trying to protect these ideas as a real, tangible invention, just like a new smartphone or a new engine. So what's the ultimate goal of all this? The inventor is proposing this whole framework, which is rooted in a philosophy they call Philfology, to achieve something called scientific world peace. The core idea really is that if we can all understand the universe through this one single unified lens, from the planet down to our own bodies, then maybe we can resolve our conflicts and create a kind of global harmony. Okay, so at the very heart of this entire system is a single, deceptively simple-looking equation. This is the engine that drives everything else we're about to see, and it's a bold attempt to completely redefine what energy even is. E equals O+iA. According to the patent, this is the master formula, what it calls a single unit of almost all energy forms. Basically, it's proposing that energy isn't just one thing, but a kind of synthesis of three totally distinct yet interconnected parts of reality. Let's break that down, because it's pretty interesting. In this model, energy is a trinity. O stands for light, think photonic energy. A represents sound or phonic energy. And that little I right there in the middle? That stands for vibration. It's the interface, the thing that synthesizes the other two. Now, to put this into perspective, let's compare it to the most famous equation in all of physics. We all know Einstein's E equals mc squared. That's all about the relationship between mass and energy. But E equals O+iA is suggesting a completely different fundamental relationship, that all energy is basically an interplay between light, sound, and vibration. Okay, so how does an abstract equation like that apply to something as huge and complex as our planet? Well, this is where the patent introduces something it calls the Happy Earth model. And this is just wild. This slide shows how that light vibration sound pattern gets mapped onto, well, everything. For the planet itself, sunlight is the light, moonlight is the sound, and the light reflected from the Earth is the vibration. The patent even applies the same pattern to global organizations, suggesting the WHO, WIPO, and WTO act as their own kind of functional trinity. The main idea here is that Earth isn't just a collection of separate things, but one single, unified supersystem. From the continents and mountains to all our natural resources, every single part is seen as operating under the fundamental laws of this one trinity equation. All right, so the theory has taken us to a planetary scale. Now it's about to bring it all the way down to the human body. This is where those trillions of neutrinos we mentioned at the very beginning come back into the picture, and they create a direct link between us and the cosmos. So get this, according to the patent, our DNA isn't just three-dimensional. It proposes what it calls a 5D DNA structure that carries a mind-boggling number of hydrophobic solution units, which it compares to essential oils, throughout our bodies. The scale of this proposed system is meant to be compatible with the equally massive scale of neutrinos passing through us every second. So here's how the process is supposed to work. First, those 100 trillion neutrinos come streaming into our body. The theory says they then interact with our 5D DNA. Now, the really crucial step is what's called the ith point. This is where biophotons, basically light that our own cells give off, act as a gateway. And this whole process is supposedly guided by cymatics, the study of how vibration and sound create visible patterns, which directs where those neutrinos go. This is such a powerful metaphor, and it comes right from the source material. It's suggesting that our own bodies are performing particle physics on a scale that's comparable to the Large Hadron Collider at CERN, constantly processing trillions of these tiny, elusive particles. So where does all this lead? What's the point of it all? Well, the patent ties all of these incredible threads together, the physics, the planet, our DNA, into one grand, unified framework that has some incredibly far-reaching applications. The ambition here is just vast. The claims range from developing clean, radiation-free energy to creating new medical treatments and information technologies, all based on neutrinos. It even proposes a new basis for all industrial design and a simplified way to understand the universal constants in physics. It's truly a theory of everything. And all of these different applications, they all circle back to that one central stated mission. The purpose of this grand theory is to provide a shared scientific and philosophical model that could, just maybe, lead humanity to a state of harmony and peace. And that really leaves us with a final thought. Regardless of what you make of these specific theories, this whole patent raises a really fascinating question about the system it exists in. What is the role of institutions like the World Intellectual Property Organization in fostering and protecting ideas that push the absolute boundaries of what we think we know? The answer to that could really shape the future of invention.